So proud of this group. What a gritty performance, and they found a way when it matters the most to get their job done. Penn State was a heck of a football team. I had a lot of respect for them coming into the game, but have more after the game. It's a really good team, well coached, and it was a tough matchup. But these guys are resilient, and they found a way to make a play when it mattered the most, and that's what, again, is to me, what great teams, great organizations, they're able to, at that moment that they need to do their job or make a play, they do it. And the last play doesn't matter. There's unpredictable things that happen all the time, and they find a way to make it work. And I'm really proud of them, excited for this next opportunity. We'll enjoy this thing today and tomorrow before we figure out who our opponent is, and then we got to get healthy and get back to work for one less guaranteed.
Yeah, I think our medical support team, first and foremost, did a really good job. Got up a little wobbly, so that's an indicator that they got to bring me to the 10 and go take me through all the concussion tests. So we went through all the tests, and they decided I was good to go back. But we definitely took our time and evaluated my numbers from this summer when I took a brain test to what I performed in the tent. So past that, and Steve Angeli, this is a guy who is kind of waited his turn and all year is prepared like he's a starting quarterback every single week, showing a lot of maturity, and he helps me out a lot. He's a guy on the sideline who knows exactly what the defense is doing, and he's a good friend of mine, and I appreciate him a lot. So for him to go in and drive him down the field 3 points before half, that was big. We didn't really have too much of an altering game plan. There were some checks that I could have made in the first half, but overall I knew what the defense was giving me. We just knew what to get to in the second half. But no, I saw it well, and obviously didn't perform on a couple plays, but I can live with that. If I didn't throw that ball to J2, which I overthrew for an interception, I would have regretted it. So I'm confident in my progression. That was the right throw. Just got to execute, but I can live with that. If I were to not throw it and hesitate, that's one thing. But I let it fly, and then it got picked, but that's all right.
Yeah, we got a lot of confidence in the offensive line room, and when Knapp goes down, Tosh Baker has to go in, and when Rocco goes down, Charles Jagasaw has to go in, and we got a lot of confidence in them. I think the situation right before half, you got a new quarterback in there. Is it a 2-minute situation, or they're trying to rush upfield, and they made some plays, but they were able to. As I told the offensive staff and the team in the locker room, we have to be able to run the ball. We got to stop the run. That's not changing. We said that going into the game, and we're saying that at halftime. And we had to make some adjustments, which we did. We had to try to calm some things down. And you know what? The rushing attack truly helped us open some things in the passing game in that second half. And you know what? Riley just executed. The wideouts executed. The O-line did their job. Tight ends played well. And you find a way to win it in a game-winning field goal. So it was going to be a battle. And we didn't have great production the first half, and it was a 7-point game. And I told them, we get the ball the first series of the second half, and we just got to go out and execute on this play. But I wanted them to understand we did not play to our standard in the first half. And credit to Penn State for what they did on both sides of the ball. But it was a 7-point game. It didn't feel like that going into the locker room, but it was a 7-point game, and our guys went out there and performed the second half. Well, 13 years ago, I had a daughter and Sienna born on the same day as me, and so for the past 13 years, she gets all the birthday credit. And but this is special. Again, this is a special moment that a lot of hard work has been put into it, and it's not about a birthday, man. This is just about a moment and enjoying this moment together. Yeah, we were in we had great communication in terms of what we were going to do. I wanted to see are they going to call timeout, right? If they're not going to call timeout, then I had to have a plan. Hey, when do we want to use our timeouts? And once we figured out what they were going to do, we said, okay, we want to center this ball on third down. Center the ball on third down, and on center the ball on second down. On third down, that's when we decided to do the QB sneak because they called a timeout. And they executed it flawlessly. Nobody panicked. It was great communication. Riley kept everybody under control, and we knew we were in range where Mitch could make that field goal. And he is a confident guy, man. There is no moment too big for Mitch Jeter. And I had a lot of confidence in him in that moment. He was going to do exactly what he did, and he did a great job at doing it. Yeah, he was banged up. He was banged up, and he is a tough individual. And he didn't get a lot of practice reps. We were very calculated on what we asked him to do in practice. There was maybe a little doubt on my end, but the closer we got to the game, I said, okay, he's going to give it a go. And, you know, the statistics maybe weren't there in the first half, but him being out there means something to everybody on that offense and everybody on our team. And in the second half, he made some Jeremiah Love plays. And, you know what, it speaks volumes to the heart he has. He gave everything he had to this place. He did not have to play today. And, you know, nobody would have batted an eye. But he put team in front of himself and how he felt. And we got a whole bunch of guys like that in that locker room, and that's why we're in this position.
Coach Meek has always told us, you know, challenge every time. And we just did our job, you know, and we just kept them to 0 catches. So, yeah.
That's him, man. You know, and keep it simple. You know, as a defensive mindset, when you have a lot of confidence in your corners to be able to play man-to-man coverage, it allows you to do a lot of different things with those 9 other people. But we can't always just play man, too, because that's how some of those big plays happen. You can scheme us up. But just those guys, one of my favorite plays Christian made today, it wasn't a play on the passes when his guy cracked blocking the field and made a huge tackle. I think that was on 3rd down. You know, he gave, how much did he weigh? 190, 80, 70. He put all 175 pounds into that tackle, man. And, but that's, you know what, that hurts. That hurts. You know, and he's made to play man coverage, but I don't know how much he signed up to throw his body in there against a 200-pound running back that runs physical, but that's the way we choose to play this game. That's what I told him in the locker room. That's what I told him before the game. We choose to play this game in a physical, very physical manner. And you know what? Like, you're going to have to play through some pain, but that moment in that locker room when we're singing that fight song and we're celebrating together, it numbs the pain. And I'm just proud of them, and grateful that we have these guys in our locker room. You know, I often tell them, in your lowest moments, you find out the most about yourself. And we've had low moments, but we had a really low moment. We know week 2, and these guys battle. We got great leaders. We got great players that chose to put this university and this football program in front of themselves. And that, to me, is probably the single thing that I'm probably most proud of is how we have a group of individuals that truly put Notre Dame football in front of themselves. Like, I know Riley and Christian truly would rather be in that locker room celebrating than being up here. But that's what it takes. It takes 120 guys saying, you know what, who cares how many plays I get? Who cares what type of individual praise I get? It's all for Notre Dame and to make sure we achieve team glory. And we have a locker room of guys made up of that. And that, to me, is a reflection of what you saw today. The guys that did whatever it took to find a way to make sure we achieve the outcome we want. Winning helps everything, you know. There's a lot of coaches that are on the road right now recruiting. And fortunate for us, the best recruiting we can do is winning. But also, hopefully, the culture that is built here attracts recruits. And, you know, this is a place, we know South Florida is a hotbed. South Florida has a lot of great football players. Hopefully we find the right ones that choose Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's a really weird feeling. It's hard to describe the emotion that goes on during that time, and it's hard to describe the emotion that's going on right now even. But I think it's kind of funny to me because I kind of knew the kick was going to go in. Like, we all knew the kick was going to go in. The kid's just got ice in his veins. Like, anytime his number's called and he's got to make it, like, it's a lock. So shout out to Mitch Jeter there. We, you know, and to the defense as well. Our job was to get 15 yards or so, get us in field goal range, and you know, the rest is history.
Let's go. Hey, I was more concerned with the protection than I am with Mitch Jeter. Our field goal protection has been a big point of emphasis the last few weeks, and that was what I kept thinking about. And when we had that timeout, was remind them of the fundamentals to execute the protection of protecting the field goal. And Mitch, I leave Mitch alone. He's in his lane, let him do what he does. But I had to make sure those big guys didn't get lost in the moment. It was about execution in that moment, and they did a good job in protection.
To be honest with you, I really didn't think about anything after I caught the ball. I just knew I was just blessed, you know, and I just felt God over me after I caught the ball. So pretty much, yeah.
He's special. I mean, he is. All these guys are special, man. You know, and he won't take credit for it, but he, in the biggest moments, both of these two and many guys in that locker room find ways to make plays when it matters the most. We're playing USC a couple weeks ago, and they're going in to try to make this a one-score game, and he had some plays earlier that didn't go his way. But on that play versus USC, when they went at him, he picked the ball off and ran it back for a touchdown. And so that's what Christian Gray does. He makes plays when it matters the most. And you know, it wasn't a perfect day for him. I think he got a DPI or a holding or something like that. But in that moment, Christian had to make a play, and he did. And it was a huge reason why we won that game.